What's up, guys? It's Coley Colgate here tonight doing Trendkillradio. Sean Ryan could not be here tonight, but that's okay because we're still going to have a good show anyway. Ah! What the fuck?
What's up, everybody? This is Trendkillradio. I'm your host, Sean Ryan.
I'm Coley Colgate.
And tonight we have stories of two singers from the nu metal era that are still making music from beyond the grave in a spooky new Halloween special that is us, Trendkillradio. Why don't we just get into it? First on the bat, we have Chester Bennington.
Chester Bennington. Yeah, everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. Linkin Park.
R.I.P. From Stone Temple Pilots, from Linkin Park.
Oh, they got it all. There's an interview kind of with the guitarist, if I'm not mistaken.
A quick interview, yeah, with the guitarist from Lamb of God. Mark Morton.
Mark Morton, yeah. He said that he had some music that he recorded with Chester. Someone asked, a fan asked, well, when are we going to hear it? Are we ever going to hear it? He said, oh, you're going to hear it, and it's going to be good.
Yeah, there was a Twitter question to Mark Morton recently, a guy named Jimmy, and he goes, how far did you guys get into the project with Chester? Are we ever going to hear it? And Mark Morton responds, and I quote, Chester and I made some really cool music together and that we are both super stoked about, and you will hear it.
That's exciting because a lot of the biggest complaints of the last Linkin Park album before Chester died was that it wasn't heavy enough. And I can't imagine he's getting together with the guy from Lamb of God making stuff that sounded like, the last Linkin Park album. So I'm thinking it's going to be heavier stuff, which would be great because it's been lacking in the last couple albums from Linkin Park. I'm excited to hear that. I mean, even if it's just one song or a feature or something, however you want to put it, but it's just one little thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I would hope that it's going to be some sort of EP or something like that. They were working together before Chester had passed back in April 2017.
Yeah.
He and Mark were working with Lamb of God's go-to producer for Gojira, Josh Wilbur.
Yeah. No
No word on when you're going to expect that, but hopefully soon.
The thing with projects like that too is, even if we do have to wait a while, it's something that will be worth it. It's not going to feel rushed. Even if it's not a single or picking up radio play, it's still going to be cool to listen to.
I mean, I was always a big fan of when Chester played with Stone Temple Pilots. I thought it was a unique take. He didn't sound like Scott, and he didn't try to be like Scott because he was his own entity. Unlike Jeff Goot that replaced both Scott and Chester. He's a very much Scott Weiland-y.
Yeah.
Looks like, sounds like, acts like, dresses like. Chester, he had done some work with, on the Queen of the Dam soundtrack, which was covering over Jonathan Davis's voice that he did the songs for that whole movie, along with Wayne Static, who we're going to be talking about next, but also that, and David Draymond, and they all tied in together with our next story.
Yeah. It's been a big week for dead frontmen.
And on to our next story. Static X is back in the news. Like, you guys remember them?
I love Static
Of
X.
course. Very popular for Cold and Black and White, and He's a Loser!
That's pretty good.
It wasn't that good.
It was okay. It was okay.
He's a loser!
Yeah.
Well, as we know, unfortunately, Wayne Static, the lead singer and founding member of Static X, he passed away back in 2014 of a drug overdose. Although his wife said that it
was mixed with alcohol.
Like prescription pills.
Yeah.
And a lot of alcohol, despite his wife saying that he had been clean since 2009. The coroner's report said otherwise, but still the coroner's report said it was natural causes. So, you be the judge. Let us know in the comments. Tony Campos, he and the original members, there has been a lot of members of Static X, but I mean, this is the most original lineup that they've had. They have gotten back together and they're doing something of a tribute album, something of a new album, just to commemorate Wayne Static's legacy and also celebrate the 20-year anniversary of Wisconsin Death Trip, their first album.
I love that record.
Great album, right?
Classic. 20 years old already. Jesus.
I know, fuck, where does the time go? Tony has come up with this idea of doing this tribute album or whatever. He says, the new album entitled Project Regeneration brings together guitarist Kyoichi Fukuda, bassist Tony Campos, and drummer Ken Jay, as well as the group's longtime producer Ulrich Wild. It will have Wayne Static's vocals, will be mixed in with contributions from other artists that you may know, from Al Jorgensen from Ministry, David Draymond from Disturbed, Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch, Exactly. Burton C. Bell, The Fear Factory, among others. They've all expressed interest, but, it's going to be a decision time later on because everyone's got crazy schedules and everything like that. And Tony has gone on to say that, and I quote, "We had a lot of material to work with, several demos that Wayne left behind, as well as some really great isolated vocal performances from some nearly finished songs. Together we have been writing, crafting something very special. In the end, we expect this album to be between 12 and 15 brand new Static X songs. It's the original lineup back together again for all the right reasons. They will be releasing this album in the spring of 2019, and they will be doing a tour to, I don't know who the hell's going to be singing for him, though. That was a detail that no one asked that question about, and no one decided to answer anything about. But they will be going on a worldwide tour. Tony has said that he wants to visit all parts of the globe. I mean, from Australia, China, Japan, Russia, all over Europe, clearly America, probably Wisconsin due to Wisconsin Death Trip.
Sure.
Yes, why not?
They'd have to. You'd be foolish not to.
Yeah. But it's good to hear their name back in the circulation again. I find it very interesting. I hope everything works out with that.
I hope so too. I think that they're a really good band. Every member change they've had and every kind of sort of style they touched on, and I just always thought they were really cool and interesting, and I really like Wayne as a vocalist. So I am excited as a fan of his voice to hear new songs because I've heard all the other ones so many times. But you know what's cool about this? This doesn't seem. You hear these things happen a lot, but this doesn't seem like a money grab or anything like that. It feels like authentic that they just want to put this record out, and I think that's cool. A lot of bands, if it's a money grab, they would have done it in 2015. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They would have done it. Yeah, right after he died. Yeah, they would.
They sat on this for almost 5 years now.
There were recordings they were doing for other albums. There's isolated vocal tracks that Wayne had left behind, and they dig in the vault, and I love hearing that. Tupac
he had more albums after his death than he did before he died. Like he still has unreleased music.
I kind of wish that was the case with most artists that have passed. Like most rock artists that I love. Like I would love to hear more. Scott and Chris is coming out. There is a new it's more or less a greatest hits.
Mm-hmm. A couple new songs on it.
Yeah, a couple new things here and there, but I mean, I would love to hear a whole new album from artists that I loved that have gone on.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was just back catalogs for everybody back there or out there that labels just sit on because they can't make enough money off of it. 40 years from now, it's like fucking Hanson's hits that came out or were recorded in '99 that never got released. I'd buy that. Fucking love Hanson.
Bop, the remix.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And in the final segment, we have a small story about Gilby Clarke, Cleveland, Ohio native. Did you know that?
I did know that, actually,
yeah. Yeah. He was the second rhythm guitarist for Guns N' Roses back in the Use Your Illusions days. After Izzy, he had abruptly just kind of disappeared, vanished, quit. Mm-hmm. He filled in, and he was told to learn the entire GN'R catalog within 2 weeks, and he did it, and he went on tour, and he made a couple $1 million.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Probably not a couple $1 million, but he probably made a decent amount of cash.
Bet he got a lot of cocaine, though.
And a new Corvette.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 80s were different, man.
I do know that. Well, this was actually 91.
91, yeah, but you know what I mean.
91, 92. But anyways, Guns N' Roses, they reformed with Slash Duff and Axl, not Matt. Gilby Clarke was asked at one point to join the Not in This Lifetime tour, according to Gilby.
He turned it down. He said nope. Silly reason why, too.
Do you think it's silly? Actually, I think it's kind of sweet.
It's super sweet. The same day they had one of the first shows, which he said, I can maybe do these dates, but not this show. He couldn't do the one show, so he couldn't do the whole thing. But one of those dates happened to be Lollapalooza, and his daughter's band was getting their first big break and playing that show, and he wanted to be there for his daughter, so he turned down the Guns N' Roses tour.
Yeah.
And if that isn't the most rock star thing you could do,
being a good dad,
turn down the Guns N' Roses tour to go to Lollapalooza
and go see your daughter
to impress a chick. Yeah, that's fun. That's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe they'll ask him again. For right now, I believe their rhythm guitarist is Richard Fortus, who has been with Axl. I like to call it Axl and Pals. Before Guns N' Roses reunited, so on and so forth. Okay, everybody, and that was the end of this episode of Trendkillradio, our Halloween special. Ooh. I Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe, right meow, and go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Trendkillradio216. I am Sean Ryan.
And I am Coley Colgate.
And we will see you guys again next week. Have a good night. Happy Halloween. And before I forget, I just want to play out the rest of the show with a song called Buried Alive by a band called Creature Feature. It's like their only video from their debut album in 2007 called The Greatest Show on Earth. They just came out with something of a sequel called The Greatest Show on Earth Returns just a couple days ago on the 26th. And I love it. It's my favorite kind of music to listen to during Halloween. And I mean, you know, honestly, look at me. It's just really all the time. So here it is. Enjoy. Thank you guys. Happy Halloween.
Fall into Hades.
Within a dream of a certain city in the sea, as I walk the valley, love unrest behind this mask of crimson death. I long for a loss of breath and the most dire predicaments. Murders in the room, morgue, silence and shadows. What are you doing? I can't explain just how it feels. The thoughts of my premature burial inside this sublime box. I lie with they also be buried alive. The oval portrait upon the wall will someday cause this house to fall. The power of words left unsaid as I join the spirit of the dead. I can't explain just how it feels. The thoughts of my premature burial inside this sublime box. I lie with they also be buried alive.
And lifted and bore me down to a place of blackness and dampness and silence.
Well, I'm the man who's used up, washed up, bricked up, descent into maelstrom, bedlam, red rum, bet the devil my head, misled bloodshed, hot under the floorboard, beats for love, no, nevermore. I can't explain just how it feels. The thoughts of my premature burial inside this sublime box. I lie with they also be buried alive. I can't explain just how it feels. The thoughts of my premature burial inside this sublime box. I lie with the hopes I'll be buried alive.
What's up, guys? It's Coley Colgate, filling in for the always excellent Sean Ryan, who is not here tonight. This is Trendkillradio. What's up, guys? It's Coley Colgate. This is Trendkillradio. Sean Ryan could not be here tonight, so I'm taking over the reins, and this is gonna... Ah! I slay you.